Hello. Today I'm going to be talking about the company Juul, which is what we chose. I'm going to talk about a brief history, a timeline, and what they're doing from when they opened up to now. So the first thing I'm going to talk about is when Juul initially opened. So in June of 2007, Plume Incorporates is founded by James Monseeds and Adam Bowen and begins marketing Pax vaporizers. They will become billionaires in the late 2018. In May 5th of 2011, Plume Incorporates officially changes their name to Pax Labs Incorporates. On April 7th of 2015, Juul Labs Incorporate is now formed. In the same year, on June 1st, the Juul is introduced into the market by Pax Labs. The Juul is obviously an e-cigarette product for vaping, which I will continue to talk about. In June of 2015 throughout November of 2018, Juul starts to flood social media sites like Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube with their marketing strategies, and they prefer to target young adults and minors by using young models and celebrity influencers. Juul even launched campaigns handing out free Juul devices. In June of 2017, Adam Bowen and James Monseeds officially leave Pax Labs to join Juul and run that. In July of 2017, Juul Labs is spun out of Pax Labs as an independent company. Monseeds becomes the chief product officer and Bowen becomes the chief technology officer. In April 24th of 2018, the FDA demands that Juul Labs produce documents regarding Juul's marketing practices, market research, product design, public health impact, and adverse events and complaints related to Juul. So, later that year, the American Academy of Pediatrics posts a warning on website to parents regarding the dangers of Juul. In 2018, the FDA sends a letter to Juul demanding that the company take prompt action to address the rate of youth use of all Juul products and demands detailed plan to address and mitigate widespread use by minors, demands removing flavored products from the market. So essentially, the FDA banned flavored pods that were being created by Juul.
Hi, my name is Noam, and we'll be going over the internal analysis at Juul. First, I'm going to talk about the internal culture. The internal culture at Juul is not so good right now. In an article on BuzzFeed News, Juul employees said morale is at an all-time low. I found some reviews from former and current employees on Indeed.com. One said it was a great sense of community and I wish I was there for a longer time. Yet another said, high comp with minimal work, but the company is a mess and run by a pack of unqualified, uncaring executives and VPs. I've never seen such incompetence. So with two reviews that different, it really shows that there is a problem with the internal culture at Juul. Next, we'll talk about ethics and social responsibility. Ethics and social responsibility is a very important part of Juul because of all the problems they have faced from the FDA with underage usage of their products. They're working on this by restricting access and limiting the appeal of their products to younger kids. They have also suspended all distribution of flavored products to the US and in other attempts to lessen the appeal for these products. Organizational structure. Juul's organizational structure is hierarchical. That means that the orders are coming down from the top of the company, from someone such as Casey Crosthwaite, the CEO, and then they make their way down through managers and then down to the employees themselves. For human resources management, Monica Fallsbush is the chief people officer at Juul, so her job is to oversee all aspects of human management. She handles all industrial policies, practices, and operations for Juul. There's a lot of problems in the human resources side of Juul, however. One major problem is sexual harassment allegations that were reported to HR and nothing was done about it, including one employee in particular, Carrie Chong, who reported sexual harassment and ended up being fired by the company after not looking into the allegations and blaming her of things she did not do at all.
Moving on to the SWOT and pestle now. So Juul has many strengths that will hopefully keep them in the vaping industry for years to come. Some of their biggest advantages are their team of dedicated engineers who created the device now known as Juul, being extremely user-friendly and intuitive, as well as a superior juice and nicotine delivery system now known as Nic Salts. However, Juul has a couple weaknesses. Most of these come from the top, like an executive leaving a company and stirring up dust with allegations. Another one of Juul's weaknesses is them being owned 35% by a tobacco giant, a seemingly conflict of interest situation. Juul's superior team of engineers could try and create a device to rival Ultra's or double down on vape and seek to create a cleaner burning, more efficient juice. Some of Juul's threats are clearly the FDA, as they've passed multiple flavor bans and even succeeded in making the nicotine age now 21. Not to mention both private and public lawsuits stemming from the FDA costing Juul millions in legal fees. Another one of Juul's biggest threats has to do with the safety of Juul. Many now believe it is just as or more dangerous than smoking, rather than when they were on top, having it the other way around, where people thought that smoking was most certainly more dangerous than vaping. Now this theory must be turned around for Juul if they want to be number one again. Now moving on to the pestle. So the pestle analysis helps show Juul where they sit within their own industry using external factors, covering from political to legal, of course. So their biggest political threat, in my opinion, would most certainly be the FDA, as mentioned earlier. And their marketing strategy and great rapport helps out their social and economic factors as well. Moving on. So social media is undoubtedly Juul's most effective marketing tool, helping them reach their exact target market. Environmental concerns about used pods have also been raised, as they're still not biodegradable, so it's really just waste going into the garbage.
I'm going to talk about Juul's leadership, focusing on the different styles of each CEO and how that has affected the trajectory of the company. Juul's leadership team is structured in the traditional hierarchical fashion, with the CEO position at the top. The first CEO named when Juul first became independent from Pax Lab was Tyler Goldman, pictured on the left. He set up the company for success with his visionary style and background in technology. His goal for the company was to help adult smokers find an alternative option that was less harmful to their health. Unfortunately, Tyler Goldman did not stay very long at the company and was replaced by Kevin Burns, pictured in the middle. Burns' authoritarian way of leading was very different from Goldman's, leading to a time of turmoil for Juul. Burns turned the focus of the company from helping smokers to getting as much money as he could, regardless of the consequences. He was even quoted saying that the customers buying the products are drunk and vaping and would not care about the quality, and fired anyone that didn't just go along with his plan. The attitude towards production and quality control led to several deaths linked to the contaminated pods, and the FDA eventually had to step in, banning these pods. After this scandal, Kevin Burns left Juul and was replaced by the current CEO, K.C. Crosthwaite. Not much is available in the way of his leadership style, but under Crosthwaite, the leadership team is trying to turn Juul back around. The CEO may be different, but the overall structure and demographics of the overall leadership team remains the same. So perhaps a more diverse team within the upper management will help them achieve their goal.
So to wrap up this conclusion, I'm just going to talk about a couple more facts more relative to now's time compared to the past. So right now, the U.S. Senate has launched an investigation into Juul Labs' marketing tactics, and later that year, in 2019, the U.S. Congress Oversight Committee hearings on Juul's role in youth nicotine addiction epidemic. So those are two very big facts in regards to how the youth is handling nicotine addiction and how the epidemic is currently affecting our youth. I just want to say thank you, everyone, for listening to our presentation, and I hope that everyone has a good day. Thank you.